Prison Break, for those of you who don't know, is my favorite show of all time. I believe that Prison Break, guys, from beginning to the end, that being season 1 to season 4, of course, was the greatest stretch I've ever seen of a show. And believe me, guys, there's lots of shows that I absolutely love, and there's a lot of shows that are actually starting to climb up my favorite all-time list of when it comes to TV shows. But Prison Break, when it came back in season 5, I thought that it was unnecessary. It wasn't something that they needed to do, and they did it anyway. It felt forced. It felt very far-fetched, the direction they were trying to go in. That being said, though, we're going to talk about season 6 here because obviously they left that door open for a season 6 at the end of season 5. And so I want to talk about everything that we know so far about Prison Break season 6. We'll break it down, and I would love to have a real conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So in an article written by Morgan Jeffrey, Sam Ashurst, and Abby Robinson of Digital Spy, God bless Prison Break. Never knowingly unridiculous, the revived Fox series wrapped its 5th season with a totally outrageous finale. Behind the Eyes delivered 2 absurd plot twists and a happy ending for Michael Scofield, but with fans still clamoring for more. Was it really goodbye? So is it happening? That's the big thing, guys. Well, in January 2018, Fox officially confirmed that it was developing a new iteration of Prison Break. It's in very early stages of development, said entertainment president Michael Thorne, but we're really excited about it. Miller himself also expressed an interest in revisiting his character under the right circumstances. There's always room for more in my mind, as long as it's a story that's worth telling, as long as it feels justified and cool and edgy. It has to be something that's not going to let the fans down, that's going to satisfy and surprise. I'm open to the conversation. So, that being said, guys, but then a Rock in the Road series creator Paul Scheuring said that despite desire from fans and some of the actors, he couldn't tell you another story about this group of people. That being said, Fox top dog Dana Walden stated that the network would definitely consider doing more episodes, and Dominic Purcell later announced on Instagram that a 6th season was actually in the works, with Fox officially confirming more episodes a little under a month away. But disappointingly, the plans that were in motion have seemingly stalled. The Prison Break writers' room shared a tweet back in August 2019 with the following message. Hi, Prison Breakers. I'm just dropping in to share some bummer news. Nothing is ever dead. Remember when Sarah was decapitated, but for now, the elusive season 6 is not in the cards. But we love you and are so grateful for all of you. Hashtag Prison Break. There's no plan right now to revive Prison Break or any of the other franchises, but when the creators come with a story that they think is the right time to tell, we are so ready to listen, because those are some franchises of which I'm so proud and feel so fortunate that they're in our stable, Collier said. Now, look. Obviously, guys, at the end of season 5, if they weren't planning on making more seasons after season 5, I didn't think that they should have even made a continuation of this franchise, this beloved franchise, my favorite ever, which I feel that season 5, when that came out, really hurt it hurt in my opinion the franchise as a whole. I mean, obviously seasons 1 through 4 will always be remembered to me as the real Prison Break. Season 5 just felt forced. Season 6, it's hard to say where they would have gone with the story and such, but if they weren't planning on making more seasons, I don't know even why they made a season 5. But that being said, will we see a Prison Break season 6? Right now, it's not looking too great, guys. It's probably in a limbo state or a state of no return at this point in time. You can never say never, though, to say the least. Purcell has since spoken out on his hopes for a 6th season, explaining how the pandemic was opening a steely resolve in him to get it made. We are all in agreement that if the story is worthy, it will get made, he said. I'm very optimistic with social distancing and a fierce adherence to expert opinion on how to beat this catastrophic, unprecedented event. We all, as one, will be victorious over the pandemic. Corporations such as Netflix are desperate for content, he continued. Stoked to be alive, all good, he wrote on Instagram. Doc said I have an unusually tough tissue fiber. That's what saved me, apparently. Thank God for my Viking heritage. So chatting to Collider about the vital ingredients that were integral to making the last chapter happen, Schering said, I needed to hear that the actors were interested, and then subsequent to that, I had to convince myself that there was a good enough idea to do it. We weren't doing it just to do it. We wanted to make it awesome. Those were some of the components that went into it. So, obviously, guys, what would the plot be here if season 6 did happen? So the latest season ended with Michael granted full immunity for the crimes he committed while under the thrall of rogue CIA agent Poseidon, leaving our hero free to play happy families with Sarah and Mike Jr. Co-showrunner Vaughn Wilmot has confirmed that ideas are percolating for a 6th season, so what might the future hold for Michael and the gang? So Behind the Eyes might contain a hint as the show's possible next step, with the director of the CIA offering Michael a job that would utilize his particular set of skills. There was a scripted page where they said, Michael, you can stop looking over your shoulder now, you're free. But then he looks over his shoulder and you can see the whole world out there and all the people in the park and everything, and any of one of them might be a threat, and you realize that a man like this could never go back to a normal life. So their stories have been told, he wrote on Instagram, so no more Michael. If you were a fan of the show hoping for additional seasons, I understand this is disappointing. I'm sorry. He added, forgive me, I need to put my finger on something. In and around the reveal, don't wish to play stray parts, etc. I saw dozens of comments suggesting Michael leave Sarah for T-Bag, or that T-Bag will be looking for Michael or me. So obviously, guys, there's a lot of a lot of this is kind of just unraveling as time has gone on, for the characters, for the people that play them, you know, Wentworth Miller and such. I just think, guys, that it doesn't make a lot of sense. A season 6 just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Now, if they have a really solid story around it, it makes sense. But at the end of the day, guys, I just really wish that they wouldn't have made an addition to season, after season 4. I just wish they would have left it as is. I thought it was a perfect ending to a perfect story. But yes, it was very unfortunate, to say the least, that they even brought it back if they didn't plan on making a season 6. So when would episode 1 air if it did come out? So in March 2018, Schering announced that he completed the script for season 6, episode 1. Then 2 months later, Fox's then CEO Dana Walden confirmed that new episodes were still in the very early phases of development. We're just focused on getting the next iteration right, Walden said. I don't anticipate there would be any significant announcements for several months. It's definitely not something we want to do every season. We want to make it special. So obviously, guys, who would be the stars of it? Well, obviously, the normal cast, I think, would certainly be back, to say the least. I mean, there's nothing that really tells me that they wouldn't bring, the main great, the great assembly of cast back. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that they wouldn't bring back a lot of the same characters for it if it did come out. So until Prison Break, when can we see it as far as a trailer goes? Until Prison Break is officially renewed, new footage is off the table. But if you bookmark this page, you'll be sure to catch any updates as and when they arrive. So, guys, the big question is Prison Break Season 6 something that could potentially happen in the future? You can never say never. Like I've been saying and preaching on this channel, when it comes to shows like Prison Break, there comes a point where it's time to say goodbye. It's time for it to be done. And in season 1 to 4, I thought was perfect. The same thing can be said with Sons of Anarchy. I thought that they completed that series, and sure, they can do spin-offs of it, right? And the same thing can be said with like The Sopranos, The Wire. I mean, the list goes on and on. Breaking Bad. You can have spin-offs, which Prison Break should have been, season 5 should have actually been a spin-off. It should not have been a direct continuation after season 4. And it's unfortunate that they did it the way they did it, but that's just how Fox did it. And so that being said, will it come back? I don't believe it will, guys. If it does, I think it would come back in the form of a spin-off. Like Mayans MC, like, Better Call Saul, things of that nature. I think it would come as a continuation, but more so of a spin-off, and have ties, of course, to the main series. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think we'll ever get a Prison Break Season 6? And what do you think it would look like? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Prison Break content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.